Hey, everybody. Welcome to Is Being a Virtual Assistant for You? So, we are streaming on LinkedIn, Twitter. We are also streaming on our YouTube channel and on our business page and our challenge group page and all over the place. So, let me know when you come in where you're coming in from, because I would love to hear who's with us today and where they're watching and where they are. It's always really exciting. The VA Connection we have 22,000 members. In last time we counted 47 countries. So it can be pretty exciting to see where everyone's coming in from, because I have been surprised. Let me tell you, I have been surprised. So what I want to know is so many of you registered for this event. So I thought, holy cow, this is pretty hot, a hot topic. And so I'm excited to be here today to really dive in with you on it, to really dive in. And so what I want to know in the chat is how many of you are already VAs if you're here? So how many of you are VAs? And who's thinking about it? Who's kind of like, well, because I bet a lot of you, these days, because being a VA is, people know what it is more than when I started 11 years ago. And, I bet a lot of you have had a friend say, you don't need to get a job, you can work at home. Why don't you be a VA? Check out being a VA. And so maybe you started searching groups on Facebook or people on LinkedIn, and you came across the VA Connection and you jumped in because you're wondering, is this possible? Can people make money doing this? What's the lifestyle like? What's the pay? What skills do I need? And so we're going to talk about all of that today, and I'm pretty excited about it. So if you're new, and we've had a lot of new people join us. Last week we did I hosted the VA Client Kickstart Challenge, and we had 1,200 people join our pop-up Facebook group and participate like crazy. It's been so much fun, and we're in the process of doing some bonus sessions here, and and really taking this whole idea of getting clients to the next level. Absolutely. So I'm Belinda Sandor. I am your host for this session, and I'm the founder at the VA Connection. Okay. So the VA Connection, like I said, it's a professional online community. We have 22,000, actually more than that, 22,000 members in 47 countries. And since the day that I started it, I have been committed to connecting and educating virtual assistants all over the world. And we do this by helping established and aspiring VAs start their businesses with the skills they already have. And we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes when we talk about the specifics of being a VA. And we do that because I want you to skip the struggle, and get to work right away, helping clients, making money. And we do this through our free online community, in our courses, and in our coaching programs. Okay, good. So you guys, I can see you out there. Tell me where you're coming in from. I want to know. All right. Okay, so I'm thrilled to tell you that my business is thriving now. It's thriving now, and I've been making over $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. But the start of my VA business was pretty rough. This is me and my daughter Emily back then, 11 years ago. And I was at a bad spot. I was at a really low point. Things had gotten out of control. I found myself with a giant mess, giant struggle. I was getting divorced. I was a newly single mom, and I didn't have a job. So it's like, okay, how are we going to do that, right? How are we going to do that? And the thing was, is I didn't really want to go back to work because I didn't want to leave her. The pointing is backwards on here, you guys. I didn't want to leave Emily. I didn't want to leave Emily. And I've always been pretty simple when it comes to what I want in my life. And I wanted to be at Girl Scouts with her. I wanted to have play dates at our house. I didn't want to have Emily be, shuttled all over the place because I had a job. And the thing is that, so I had to figure out how to make being a virtual assistant work, because the other thing was getting a job for $50,000 a year was not going to get me out of the trouble I was in, because on top of the whole thing, mountain of debt, like serious debt. I'm not talking $10,000. That would have been a breeze. I'm talking like serious debt. And I'm also talking about not being able to pay the mortgage for a year. So that was a pretty rough spot. And I managed to get out of it. And I was just about to turn 50. And the thing about turning 50, not that 50 is old at all, says the 61-year-old, but I just didn't think I had enough sort of like runway, to really turn things around, because I had been making minimum payments for so long that I just thought that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. And that was just, distressing. That was distressing. And it just, like, my confidence was shot. My confidence was totally shot. So, so in the challenge, I talk about, all of the different ways that I got clients and all of the things that I did. And we're going to touch on that a little bit today. But basically, I started telling everybody that I knew that I was going to do admin work, and I got clients at the school bus stop and a wedding line. We're going to talk about that as well. But it's what I really want to do today is, there's a lot of clutter out there in the marketplace, a lot of, I call it chicken chatter. You need a niche, you need this, you have to cold call, you have to, online, all of this stuff. And I just want to cut through a lot of that today, because it's confusing and it's overwhelming. And I want to get you, clients and get you working. Okay. Now, we're going to fast forward 11 years. And I've worked with over 225 clients. And my business is thriving. It's called Rocket Girl Solutions. And I've made over $1 million, like literally sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in right now. And I was able to do this when I made some changes in my life. When I started making decisions for myself, I changed my story, and then my story changed. I think sometimes you have to change your story for it to actually change, And I changed it for being overwhelmed and upset and powerless to really taking my life back. I got kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when I did this, I started to have a steady stream of clients by learning how to talk about my business and telling everyone I knew what I was up to. And like I said, I got my first client at the school bus stop, the second client literally holding a plate. Not in that moment, but I met him holding a plate in the line of, a reception. And he gave me his card. I connected with him on LinkedIn. He got in touch with me. We talked and we ended up working together, and he's still a client now. So you really never know where clients are going to come from. Now, a lot of people have probably been told that social media is going to be the thing that makes your business take off. It's not true. Okay. The only thing you're going to find on social media is a feeding frenzy and a lot of people jumping up and down for the same job that could easily be a scam. Okay. That's what you're going to find online. And believing that social media and cold calling is how you get clients is going to keep you stuck and broke and maybe even heartbroken that you couldn't get this business off the ground. All right. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. And I would love for someone to put that in the comments. One of you that's watching, believing that social media and cold calling is how you get clients will keep you stuck and broke and maybe even heartbroken that you can't get this business off the ground. Okay. So we need to do it. We need to do it a different way. And that's why I invented Virtual Assistant School, VA School. I invented it because I want to help you get into action and skip the struggle so that you can make the changes that you want in your life. We're going to take a quick tour of VA School, and here's my goal for today. I want all of you who are here and watching the replay to clearly decide, yes, you're joining me, or no, you're not, right? At the core of making a change in our life is taking charge. And the fastest way to do that is to start proactively making decisions about what you want and what you don't. Okay? VA School is for you. if you love everything you've learned these last 7 days or 8 days, and you want to keep going, you want to keep making progress, because someone said to me not that long ago, starting over is a lot harder than, or no, what is it? If you keep going, it's a lot easier than starting over. That's the way it goes. So if you're ready to, to go better and faster at getting this business off the ground, then you can on your own. VA School is for you. VA School begins tomorrow. So you can sign up until midnight tonight, and then we are closing the doors. All right. So I want you all to know that. And tomorrow it's starting at 3:30. If you can't Eastern, if you can't make the first session, no problem. It's really just it's a school assembly where everyone's going to introduce themselves to each other, and we're just going to start on our way. But you can watch the replay and you can jump in right after that. Okay. So don't let that be the thing that keeps you from signing up. All right, so VA School is a six-month program where you'll learn exactly what you need to start, manage, and scale your VA business without feeling overwhelmed, confused about your next steps. It's just very straightforward, okay? And I think you'll find everything is easy to implement. And best of all, there's nothing that's going to require you to do something that you're not comfortable with, okay? All the steps are right there. Now, today, if it's not really a fast action bonus. It's like a really last chance bonus is what I should call this, because today's the last day. For those of you who join me, you're going to get this super duper bonus, an entire session on discovery calls. Now, if you don't know what a discovery call is, it's what people usually call the conversation that you have with a potential client. And that can be confusing and stressful if you don't know what to do. So that's why we have this bonus session for every person who registers for VA School, so that you know what questions to ask, when you're talking to that prospective client, what not to ask, right? You know how to talk about your services, how to talk about your pricing, and how to bring confidence, because that's what people are attracted to, confidence. You know how to bring confidence to the call so that you can move forward with them. And that's what we're going to cover in this session. So keep that in mind if VA School is on your radar. Okay. Okay, good. Now I want to show you what help from me can look like. All right. So there's two parts to VA School. The first part are the pre-recorded videos. There's more than 70, and they're organized into 10 modules. Okay. You can access them anytime. The minute that you buy VA School, you have access immediately. Okay. And you also get a bunch of bonus programs that I'm going to talk to you about in a couple of minutes. But the main thing is that you have lifetime access to this program, unlimited access. You also, so in that way, VA School is self-paced, which is awesome because you really can't get behind. And I know a lot of people feel a lot of stress for getting behind. Each lesson has video. It has an MP3 and a transcript. So that way we can meet you no matter what your learning style is, and everything is in one place. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is that VA School is not static. It's been around for almost a year, and changes and improvements have been made to the program. For example, there's a whole new module that I'm working on right now. This is the sketch of my ideas, and I'm going to start working on that probably next week. So I've already started talking to my graphic designer about it, because that's, he's going to have to make the graphics and little icons and all that stuff for me, which I'm very excited about. So it's not static. It continues to grow, and you'll continue to get all of the improvements over the years as we continue to do that, to do this. So here's the first 5 modules, and here's the next 5. So you can see how comprehensive this program really is. So we've got a bunch more people now. I'm wondering, how many of you have signed up already? We had a session a few minutes ago, and there was like half the people, I think, had already signed up, which is really exciting. Okay, good. Now let's talk about the other part of the program, part 2. All right, so we just talked about the 70 plus pre-recorded videos. Now let's talk about the live sessions that we call study hall. Now I think here's Heather and Wendy. Hey girls. Awesome. So what sets VA School apart from the other programs is the access to me. A lot of the programs are self-paced. They might have a monthly session or something with one of their coaches, but I'm actually in the room the whole time. And I will never shift that. For me, that's the pleasure of it, to be with students, to help them, and to really be involved. So what we do is we get together twice a week on Zoom for an hour for 6 months. So 6 months of support in a Zoom room. And these Zoom rooms are not huge. Each group that starts VA school is their own little group. So the most that'll be in a session is maybe 10 people. So it's not like, the Brady Bunch turbo and you can't even see who's there. It's not like that at all. So, you really do get the personalized experience that you want, and you get your answers. The sessions, the sessions are really, I think, what make the VA school the leader of the pack, because there is such a personalized approach. So here's what happens. During the sessions, we come together and we start with quick wins. So people let us know, where they are, and what they've accomplished. I got my EIN, I told 3 people, whatever it is to move their business forward. Then what happens is I teach for about 10 or 15 minutes, and we have a top discussion on the topic. So things like how to price your services, where to get clients. We talk a lot about confidence building, because that's at the core of all of this, things like that. And then the rest of the session, we have Q&A. And sometimes we're here for an hour, sometimes a little more if people have questions and they don't, they're not ready to, they don't want to wait till the next session. We just really stay on until they all get answered. Okay. Because I know what it's like to be out there alone. I know what it's like, to take a course and have a question specific to me, and I have to email someone, and then they don't really understand what I'm talking about, or I leave part of it out, and it's a struggle. So we want to remove that and really, come together. And I want you to, for those of you who've been working with me for a while, I want you to think about, what would it be like to have 50 hours together? How fast would that really move the needle on your business? How much faster could you get out there? So that is study hall. So I'm going to tell you about the modules, and then I'm sorry, the bonuses, and then we're going to jump into your questions about being a VA. Okay. So let's run through the bonuses. The first one is the debit card system. That's my way of getting paid up front. If you missed the bonus session yesterday, I'd like you to check out the replay. Let me put where the replays are for all of the, because there's so many trainings. It's very valuable and only available until today. So this is there's a bonus session. It's in the Facebook group. It's on the YouTube channel. Is that true? Yes, it's on the YouTube channel also, all about how I get paid up front. So check that out. It's a full standalone course. There's another standalone course that I just did a bonus session on today, the Done For You email newsletter system. And this in this standalone course, I teach you everything you need to know to create your own email newsletter, because I know that this is the #1 fastest way to grow your business. And once you learn this, once you learn how to do this, it's a very sought after skill that you can offer to clients. And like I said, we had a bonus session on that today, and you can check it out in the replay. My template library has been incorporated into VA school. So there's 14 templates that I have used for 11 years to run my VA business. And then the Facebook group is really amazing. People make friends. They stay, it's incredible how many people I'm in touch with through the Facebook groups all over the world. And I didn't expect this. I didn't expect people to connect and become friends. I'm not sure what I expected, but that really surprised me, really looking out for each other and helping each other. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And then there's another bonus called the Rocket Girl Show. So every Thursday I go live, and the videos are 5-7 minutes on all kinds of topics on being a VA. We've pulled them all together, organized them by category, and they're all in one place for you. So altogether, with VA school being at a value of $19.97, and the way that I say the reason I say that is because the intention has always been for the price to be $19.97. We started out at $500 when it was a founding member offer. Then we went to $9.97. It's been at $14.97 for a while now. So the next time out, we're going to raise the rate. I haven't decided to what. I don't believe it'll be $19.97, but it's going to be somewhere in there. So just keep that in mind. All right. Someone says, well, Christina, first of all, thank you for saying that. That would be priceless. I found the replays, but can't find the Zoom recording from yesterday. I'm in Europe and it's too late for me to stay awake. I'm sorry. I'll see if before we go, I can find that for you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Okay. So when you add that all up, it's $35.97. But for those of you who have been hanging out with me for the last few days, you know that we have a payment plan. The pay in full is $14.97. So that's a significant discount off of, all of the, when you add it all up, and you can make 6 payments of $262. So it's just $262 to get started. You have access to everything as soon as you click the buy button. All right. So let's see if there's any questions about that. And then here's what we're going to talk about next. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about what exactly is a virtual assistant. And it might sound like a really basic question, but there are a lot of people new to this. And being a VA is sometimes really misunderstood. And so it causes a lot of confusion. And I remember in the very first, I'm just going to change this banner. In the very first round of in the very first round of VA school, one of the women said to me, I thought you had to do social media. It's like, you don't have to do social media. You don't have to do that at all. And she was so shocked, and she jumped in, and now she's a VA because she thought that she had to be super techie. She thought she had to get a ton of certifications, and a bunch of really overwhelming things, but you really don't. You really don't. So Tosh, I see your comment. It says $262 is $400 over here. I don't know how that, I don't know actually where you are, but I think you're in the UK, right? So I don't know how that works, but it's like the conversion, my understanding is the conversion is based on where you live, where you live, more than, it's not like dollar for dollar, like pound for dollar. I don't think. New Zealand. Yeah. You know what? We can ask Marian Metz. I'm going to interview her at, I think it's 4:30 today. She lives in New Zealand, and she jumped into VA school, and I'm going to talk to her about her experience. So maybe check that out. Okay. All right, cool. So here we go. So here's what a virtual assistant is. Here's a definition. A virtual assistant provides administrative, technical, or creative assistance to clients. But instead of working full-time for one person or organization, he or she works virtually from home, providing the same types of services to a range of clients. So please write this down. Take a picture of it with your phone, because a lot of people get this wrong, right? They think that, if you're a VA, you're going to have to do things that it's going to take you years to learn, and you don't. And we're going to talk about this more in a minute. But look at how broad this is. All right, look at how broad this is. So this is really good news. This is really good news, because a lot of people think that, so here's another misconception. All right. A lot of people think that if you want to make the big bucks, you have to have these specialized skills. But there's so much out there that it's impossible to learn it all, right? And so I just want you to, know that you can be a virtual assistant and a proofreader. You can be a virtual assistant and, a bookkeeper. You can be a virtual assistant and make PowerPoint presentations. You can be a virtual assistant and do like anything you want, graphics, website, anything. Okay. And the thing is that, being a VA, you also get what I think of as the VA lifestyle. Okay. You get to decide when you want to work. You get to decide when, right? You get to decide how much you want to work. You get to decide who you're going to work with. And you also decide where you're going to work. So it's the, when, who, where, and how much am I going to make? And that might mean the beach in the summer, and it might mean the mountains in the winter. You really get to decide. And it's very, very, very different from having a job. Okay. So here's what I did. I came up with 7 questions that we're going to cover today. And I want you to put any other questions that you have in the chat as we go. All right. So the first question is, are you ready to work on your own? What do I need to get started? Where do I get clients? How much money can I earn? What training is required? Can I work part-time? And who hires virtual assistants? Okay, so that's what we're going to cover, and then we're going to talk about anything else that you want to the answer to. Okay, all right. So let's start with this one. Are you ready to work on your own? Okay, so my question to you is: do you want to take charge of your life? Do you want to decide when you're going to work? Do you want to decide who you're going to work with? And do you want to decide how much you're going to earn? Do you want to be in charge of that? Because that's what really part of being a business owner is making these decisions. Okay. The next thing to ask yourself is, are you self-guided? And what I mean by that is, can you get yourself to your desk, consistently? Can you meet deadlines for clients? Will you follow through on your ideas? So are you self-guided? Because there's no one outside your door, a boss or anything like that, reminding you, of your deadlines or your responsibilities. So you really need to be self-guided. Now let's talk about risk. This is pretty interesting. I used to think that having a job was safe until I got laid off. And I bet there's a lot of you out there that have had a similar experience. You're bopping right along, you think everything's fine, and then boom, right? And I realized that having a job, I refer to it as a single point of failure. So a single point of failure. And what I mean by that is one person, one day can decide to lay you off and you're gone. And that's it, right? A single point of failure, single person, single point of failure. Now, when you have clients, one leaves, no big deal. They will leave. They will leave. They absolutely will. 2, no problem. Because you know how to get clients. If you've done the challenge, if you decide to join me in VA school, you'll know how to have a steady stream of clients. And once that happens, you are self-reliant. And when you're self-reliant, you're not dependent, right? So isn't that kind of an interesting thing to think about that? This phrase job security used to be something you heard all the time. And I have to say, my husband is a CPA. He's got all these degrees and all this experience and worked for the big 6 or whatever. I would have never thought that I had more job security than him sitting in our middle bedroom, but I actually do quite a bit more. So think about that. So let me know in the chat if you get that. If you can see how there's so much more. There's so much more in being self-reliant, and there's actually less risk. Here's a question. Are you figuring out, are we self-guided along the way, or should we know it now? I've always worked for someone else, but I have a huge desire to work for myself. If you have a huge desire to work for yourself, you're going to have this. What I'm talking about is there are some people who can't sit still. They don't have a calendar. They're missing their meetings. They're not organized. That's all. You just have to be sure. I start my day pretty much the same way every day. I get up, I do the chickens, I go into the kitchen, I eat a banana, I get dressed, and I sit down. It's like I sit down and I know I have to be at my desk. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. Yeah, Tosh, I was laid off in November last year, so I can relate. No job is secure. You can only rely on yourself. It's interesting because it really goes against everything. And so many people I know have, in the 11 years that I have been on my own, have lost multiple jobs. These are smart people, right? They're smart people. They have never had trouble. And here's the other thing, and you're probably not supposed to say this out loud, but it gets harder as you get older. One of the reasons I started Rocket Girl Solutions, which is the name of my business, is I started to look for a job, realized that wasn't going to work, but it wasn't easy. When I was 35, I wanted to switch jobs, no problem. I would go to the agency. I would tell them what I wanted. I'd go on some interviews. I'd get a new job and a raise. Like, okay, no problem. But at 50, no, that wasn't happening. And it wasn't even that I couldn't find jobs. It's like I would go to the interview and the whole world changed in the 10 years since I had a job. I mean, it was startling. And I'm sure it's changed again, in the last 10 years. So it was kind of crazy. Let's see. Manava says, I'm afraid that I made the math and money. I'm afraid that I made the math and the money will be short soon. Money budget for food and the house. I'm grateful for the support I received. And with your permission, I'll stay around. So you guys, here. Thank you for saying that. If you can't make the rent, do not sign up for VA school. I don't want you to sign up for it and end up on the curb. Like, I definitely do not want that. Okay. But I want you to check in with yourself and figure out a plan. Okay. Because I know a lot of you feel like you're on the edge right now. And if you're on the edge right now, how are you going to get off the edge? Like, how are you going to get off the edge? So absolutely, the VA Connection is a community. We have 2 trainings a week. There's a bajillion posts in there with links to blog posts. There's the website. There's videos. I don't know how many videos are in the VA Connection. Hundreds. So absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I want you to make a plan, because some of you were at the challenge last time. Right? You're at the challenge last time and you're at the challenge this time. And I want you to think about, has anything changed? Right? Has anything changed? Are you kind of in the same position or worse? Because that's a trend. That's a trend. And that was the thing that was hard for me, is I didn't want to look at it. I didn't look at it for too long. And that's how I got in so much trouble, because I couldn't bear to look at it. And there were other things going on as well. But that's really key. That's really key. Okay, let's see. Definitely harder as you get older. It's harder to find a job, especially for women. You know what? I'm at least over here, I think it's harder for men these days. Like a 60-year-old man, it's like, I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone. So Tosh says, that's my plan, and I'll make it happen. I need this. I want this. I definitely do not want to miss out. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh, I see. There's a June. Okay, yeah. Planning for June. If the price doesn't go up by then, I'm in. It is going to go up. It is going to go up. We've just added a bunch of stuff, and I have to tell you, at the price it is, it's I just feel like there's so much value in it, and there's so much more that's going to be added. It won't go up that much, but it's definitely going to go. It's definitely going to go off, up. Yeah. So Christina says that she's in a worse position because of her health. Yeah. So you guys, if you make a plan for June, make a plan. Okay. Make a plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to save that. Brandy, who signed up just recently, she decided to go out to dinner less often, and she decided to turn off cable, and that gave her the money she needed to get started. And she brought her faith, and put her really put her shoulder to the what am I trying to say? Leaned in. Sometimes I think in pictures. Leaned into it, and she's doing the work, and it's going to work out for her. Okay. All right. Let's say yes, agreed. Difficult to get a good job as we get older, needing to be creative and confident to finally take the risk and adventure for working myself. Yeah. And what's nice about it is you're not doing it alone. You're not doing it alone. Elise also signed up for VA school. You have to make the steps. You have to make the steps to move the needle closer to do this. If not, but by the next challenge. So plan for the increase too. You will make it back in clients. You guys, you really will. So Heather says it's been a long time in coming. Prior health issue, family stuff, pandemic chaos, determination and vision remain strong, and faith that I would that I would and could do it when the time is right. Good, 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 good. The time is now. Yeah. Carpe diem. If some of you are on the fence and you're thinking, you can't really see yourself in this, because I know sometimes it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine the work, like how does it come in and how does all that work? Go over to the Facebook group, because I don't know how many there are in there, 10, 11 videos are in there, me interviewing people sort of before and after, and you can see yourself, you can see yourself in them. You can, and they explained how, a little bit about how it works from their point of view. Okay, so this is the answer to the question. Are you ready to work on your own? And really, it's, are you ready to be self-reliant? Okay, what do I need to get started? All right, not that much. All right, you need a dedicated place to work. It doesn't have to be big, but it's going to waste a lot of time if you can't leave your stuff set up. Okay, you need a computer, a phone, and when I started, all I had was a pen and paper. I couldn't even afford the computer, so I borrowed one of my friends' Dell. She had an account with Dell Computer. She had a credit card, so I paid for my computer on her card, and I paid it back. And I paid it. I didn't have to make minimum payments. With what I was earning, I was able to pay it off, and that felt great. That felt really, really great. So you need a dedicated workspace. You need to be able to talk about your work in a way that people understand what you're talking about and can remember. And we learned a lot about this in the Kickstart Challenge on day 2. It's not too late to watch the replay for this session, and the replays are available until midnight tonight. All right, so check that out. Check that out. The other thing is that you need to be crystal clear about your pricing, because when you need to know when you get paid, how much you get paid, and you need to be able to talk about it. And if you don't, clients are going to think there's room for negotiation, and we do not want to be negotiating. We don't want to be negotiating that, and so we go through this in VA school in a way that it's very similar to how we talk about our work. And what we learned in day 2, there's a very specific way I teach you to talk about money and pricing and the debit card and all of that. So, and definitely the whole idea of stop talking, which we learned about in the challenge, is a big part of it. Okay. So you can start to see that this isn't rocket science, but there are things that need to be thought about and decided and addressed, right? Okay. I'm just looking at the comments. I feel that I could make the steps. 1 week ago, I didn't know that my path was doable. I feel hopeful, and that's because of you, Belinda, and all of you guys. I feel supported. Thank you all. Yeah, I want to see you here. I want to see you here next time, and I want you to figure out what you need to do to make that happen. Okay, so stay connected to the big community, the VA connection. Come to the trainings. Hang out with everybody that's in there, and next time we do this, I'm rooting for you. To do what you need to do, and that's probably writing something down. Like, okay, I need this much money. What am I going to do? Am I going to take odd jobs? Am I going to, sell something? Like, what am I going to do to make that happen? Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So where do I get clients? All right. So you guys know that I think clients are everywhere, right? We talked about this a lot in the Kickstart Challenge. And one of the things I want you to think about, okay, so imagine this. 2 friends are out having lunch. One of them asks the other one, do you have a dentist that you recommend? And they say, yes, I love my dentist. His name is, right? So now imagine the same 2 friends are talking, and one of them says, do you know anyone who could help me with my email newsletter? I'm really struggling with the template. And they say, yes. And what happens then? Your name rolls off their tongue, right? Your name rolls off their tongue, because that's how it works. Okay. That's how it works. Now, I have something, I call it the sprinkling method. And I call it the sprinkling method because it's sort of like, yay, yay, which is a lot more, I think, fun and interesting than marketing. Because marketing sounds like something that's, sort of drudgery. So So what we do and what I teach you is that we sprinkle all over the place using a system so that you're not wasting energy. You're only doing, the right things, the things that are going to move the needle, and things that you can do consistently. So there's actually a tracker. It's called the Sprinkling Tracker, and there are many, 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 many ways to do this, which is why there are 2 whole modules in VA School just on this. All right, just on this. All right, let's see. We have a comment here. Hold on. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, thank you. All right. All right, let's talk about money. Money, 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 money. All right. So, how much money can I earn? So, I'll tell you what. That depends on your confidence. Yeah, it depends on your confidence. It depends on your skills too. But when we're not confident, we start with $15 an hour, right? Because we're not confident. And that's you don't have to do that. You can make way more than that as a virtual assistant. Absolutely. You absolutely can. All right. Now I'm going to tell you my story. So like I said, my pricing story. I started out 11 years ago, and I started at $50. Now, at the time that I last had a job, I was making $100,000 a year, which is about $50 an hour. I think it's a little bit more, but with benefits and stuff, but that's where I started. I had no trouble getting clients. Because I could confidently say my price and talk about my work, not because I'm like so smooth, but because I practiced. I'm just going to say this as an example. I have given this particular talk probably 18 times. I've given it all over the place. You'd think that I could do it in my sleep. But you know what I did before this? I practiced it. I went over all the words. I looked at them. I made sure that it was what I wanted to say today. I made corrections, from the last time when I thought it was fine. And I'm like, oh, I could make that better, And so it's the same thing with your VA business. You have to have that level of caring and detail, to make this work. Okay. So I want you to remember this, and I don't have any tattoos, but if I did, this would probably be what I tattoo on my arm, okay? You don't need to work for testimonials. Okay? You don't need a testimonial to get a client. You don't. And here's the thing about testimonials. They don't have to be from your VA work. If you look at my testimonials on my Rocket Girl Solutions page, some of those people I worked with. It was a job. But they're talking about my abilities. So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. Now, you also don't need to give a discount when you're getting started. Please don't give a discount when you're getting started, because the person you gave the discount to now thinks that your rates are negotiable, right? Oh, I got a discount. Don't give a discount. Choose your price. It's your price. Okay. That's your price. So this is such a tricky place, because what happens is the chicken chatter in your head is like screaming, right? I have to justify it. I don't deserve it. I a million billion things. And this is critical. This is critical. All right. But just remember, no working for testimonials, no discounts. Oh, other thing that I've heard, friends and family rate. No, friends and family are a pain in the neck to work with. If anything, charge them more, right? They're a pain to work with. I'm not kidding. Believe me. And so the whole pricing thing, like I said, is really important. And in VA School, we have 11 videos just for that. Okay. Now, what training is required? All right. What training is required? All right. So you can start from where you are. And I'm not kidding. All right. Because and I'm not trying to be funny, but you can't start from somewhere else, right? You're like, where you are is where you are. And what I see is that when people don't believe that, what happens is they spend a lot of time learning new skills and they don't get out there, and they think they have to wait until they know everything, but that's impossible. It's impossible to know everything. I learn new things every single day. I learned a new thing today that I couldn't even believe that I didn't know. All right. And it's a slippery slope. right? All of this, it's called procrastinating, right? I also call it setting the table. So if you did the challenge with me last week, I think we talked about table setting. When was that? On day 4. It's where you set the table, you move the fork, you move the spoon, but you don't take a bite. Like you just stay on the edges all the time. You update your website. You think about your niche. That, by the way, you don't need to get started, and you never get clients, and you don't know why. And it's because you just keep moving things around. You just keep moving things around. So here's what you need. You need one service to get started. One, just one. Okay. And I'm sure that's surprising a lot of you, but you know what? I want you to put in the chat one thing that you can offer right now. And it doesn't matter if you are, if you've worked in an office. It doesn't matter if you were a school teacher, a healthcare worker, if you worked in retail, you are, working in a restaurant, or you were a bartender. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because there are everyday things that you can offer to clients right now. Okay. My first client, I paid his bills. I managed his email inbox. I set up his QuickBooks because I knew how to do that. Just everyday kinds of things. I ran errands for him. That was fine. He was paying me. All right. So the reason that the Ultimate Virtual Assistant Money-Making Task List is listed on this slide is because I want you to go over to the VA Connection, thevaconnection.com, and I want you to download this. If you scroll down, I meant to look before we got here, but I think you scroll down halfway through the page and there's 3 yellow boxes, and it's right there. So download that. It's a guide filled with page after page after page of services that you can offer to clients right now. And I know that if you download it and you scroll through it, you're going to see some things that you can offer right now. So you guys are awesome. Okay. Dictaphone transcription. Great. Bookkeeping, admin support, email newsletter, schedule management, social media manager. Let's see. Elise says PowerPoint slides, Canva, graphics. I love PowerPoint so much. It's a little crazy. Customer service, email, calendar management, basically any type of admin work. I can learn anything. That's right. One thing I know about myself is if you give me a job, I will do it. That's right. Yeah, a lot of us are like that. A lot of us are like that. And I bet the majority of us here are also introverts, and that's one of the reasons that this really appeals to us, because there's not a lot of people, it's like people email me work. I sit here at my desk and I do it, and it's great. Okay, so download that list and check it out. Now, here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal. Your mindset, more than anything, is going to determine your success as a VA. Your mindset, more than anything, is going to determine your success as a VA, because just like in anything else in your life, your mindset, your attitude, and your energy are going to determine your outcome. Can you see that? Right? Your mindset, your attitude, and your energy is going to determine your outcome. Really important to pay attention to that. And that's why it's important to believe that you can start from where you are, because if you don't, that will be the thing that gets in your way of making any headway in your business. All right? Okay. Let's see. Christina says, definitely an introvert. Oh, yeah, I'm an INTJ too. Yeah, that's exactly what I am. What that is there are personality type tests you can take, and the Myers-Briggs is one of them. When I worked in corporate for 17 years, and they're always doing stuff like that. And so we took the test, and yeah, I was a borderline IE, but as I've gotten older, I crossed over the edge. I crossed over the line. And Heather says, INFJ, we're all coming clean here. We're all coming clean. That's pretty funny. Okay, so make sure you download that guide, okay, if you don't already have it. This is the same guide that you downloaded on day 1 of the Kickstart Challenge, okay? It's the same exact thing, so you don't need to go get it again. Okay, so let's talk about, can I work part time? All right. That's a big question that a lot of people have because they have jobs or they have kids or they have other responsibilities and they don't want this to be a full-time gig. So you can definitely work part-time, but here's what you need to do. You need to consider the type of work. Okay. If you have a client who wants you to manage his calendar all day long, you can't do that part-time. However, if you have a client, like I have many, many, many of these clients who say to me on Monday, hey, Belinda, I'd like to schedule my newsletter for, in MailChimp for Thursday. If I give it to you Tuesday, can you fit it into your schedule? I can do that, right? That's like how many, 36 hours or 48 hours? I don't even know. But, I can do that. So that kind of work is really great. So you want to consider the type of work because you don't want to disappoint them. And even worse than that is you don't want to run yourself ragged, okay? And think that this is crazy to even do. So consider the type of work. Also set the expectations. Set the expectations so that the client knows, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or I work evenings and weekends. Just tell them the truth, because the thing is, if you don't, they're going to figure it out. And if it doesn't work, it would have been good to know ahead of time. It would have been good to know. But 9 times out of 10, I bet if they know ahead of time, it's probably going to be fine. Because the thing is that there are members of my team at the VA Connection. There are wildly different schedules. I've got moms, all 3 of them are, well, no, 2 of them are single moms. They've got kids, different ages. One of them has a brand new baby. Mandy, she's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. So because I know that, I am so calm about it, because I think, okay, if I need this, I'll give it to her and I'll have it at this time, because I know that, she's asleep or I know she's awake, and so that goes a long way. So make sure you set expectations. And then the thing you want to do too is keep a consistent schedule. Keep a consistent schedule so that they will come to depend on you and they'll feel like you're reliable. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about who hires virtual assistants, okay? Kind of anyone who understands what we do, but more specifically, my clients are small business owners, authors, financial planners, coaches, consultants, nutritionists, recruiters, real estate agents. It just goes on and on and on and on. How many, types of people have needed my help over the years? That list really, it could go on and on and on. I mean, just consultants alone, they need a lot of help. They get hired. Some of them are they're training coaches, and they go into big corporations and they need their PowerPoint done. They need the handouts done. They need the workbooks made, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I've spent many, many, many enjoyable hours doing that kind of work for consultants. Okay. Alrighty. So what to do next? So let me know what your questions are. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. My answer to what to do next is, if you don't want to do this alone, join me and we'll get started and skip the struggle. And you can get started today. We're going to start with our first live session tomorrow, and you can sign up until midnight. And again, VA School is a 6-month program, where you'll get exactly what you need to start, manage, and grow your business really without being overwhelmed or confused about what to do. Okay. Now, I have told you many times, and this is still true, you can text me and we will jump on a Zoom. All right. Text me, we'll jump on a Zoom. I'm not going to try to talk you into it, but if you need an action plan, to sign up, I'm here to help you. Okay. And then I already told you about the discovery call session where we learn all, for at least an hour, all of the things you need to know to handle the discovery call like a champ. And here's the payment plan: 6 payments of $262 or 1 payment of $14.97. Okay. And what's next? Okay, so watch the replays if you've missed them. There's still lots of valuable information you can check out and put into, implement. Come to office hours tonight at 8 o'clock. We're going to meet on Zoom and hang out together. And here's where you can sign up for VA School. Join me and we'll get started. We'll get started on, getting happier, getting closer to your goals, and And I want you to think about what it's going to be like to walk through those doors and to be on your journey and to get this party started, as they say. Okay, so I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock on Zoom. If you don't have the link, it is in the Facebook group under the events. It's a Zoom link. It ends in 6010, I believe. And join us there and we'll have a conversation. And I'm going to show you all around VA school. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.